Have you ever heard of Rhino Linux? Yeah, me neither, at least not until recently, but the moment I stumbled across it, I knew I had to give it a try. And honestly, the first thing that grabbed my attention wasn't some technical feature or flashy performance claim, it was the look. This distro has this bold purple blob aesthetic that you just don't see anywhere else. It's weird, it's different, and honestly, anything that unique demands a closer look. But what really surprised me is what Rhino Linux is actually doing under the hood. It takes Ubuntu, a system most people think of as slow and steady, and pushes it in a direction nobody expects, a rolling release model. Instead of those big version jumps every few months, Rhino gives you a smooth, continuous flow of updates, all wrapped in their custom Unicorn desktop built on top of XFCE. It's definitely not your typical Ubuntu experience. So today we're diving into what makes Rhino Linux so different and whether it's worth your time. Let's get into it. All right, so once you head over to the official Rhino Linux website, the first thing that jumps right out at you is this bold statement, Ubuntu-based rolling release. And honestly, that's not something you see every day. Instead of waiting around for Ubuntu 26.04, 26.10, or whatever the next big jump is, Rhino Linux turns Ubuntu into a rolling release distro. Now, I personally love a good rolling release system. There's something incredibly satisfying about knowing your OS is always fresh without you having to plan a big upgrade weekend or back up your entire life just to move up one version number. With rolling releases, the updates come in quietly, frequently, and in smaller chunks. And the wild part? Rhino Linux is doing this on Ubuntu, a platform that has historically been the complete opposite of rolling. That combination alone makes Rhino Linux stand out. It's familiar, stable, beginner-friendly Ubuntu, but with the freshness and flexibility normally associated with Arch, it's a mashup most people didn't expect. So on the download page, you can choose between x86 and ARM64. You can also choose between two different desktop environments, Unicorn and Lomiri. Unicorn is Rhino Linux's own default custom desktop environment, built on top of XFCE, but themed and tweaked into something way more modern looking. Lomiri, on the other hand, is the desktop originally used in Ubuntu Touch, the mobile OS. It has that smartphone-inspired interface. It's designed for both desktop and touch environments, so it's a bit different from your traditional Windows-style layout. Lomiri is a more experimental, touch-friendly desktop for people who want something very different. When you boot up the Rhino Linux ISO, you might notice something a little strange. The screen briefly says Ubuntu 26.04. Rhino Linux is built on top of Ubuntu, which itself is an Ubuntu flavor using the XFCE desktop. Guess because of that, some of the early boot messages still come from the Ubuntu base before Rhino's own branding kicks in. Once you're fully booted into the Rhino Linux live desktop environment, click on the installer icon right there on the desktop. Rhino Linux uses the Calamares installer, which is one of the most user-friendly installers in the Linux world. That means the whole process is straightforward, guided, and beginner-friendly. In short, if you've installed any modern Linux distro before, this will feel instantly familiar. If you haven't, Calamares makes it easy. The installation has started. All you need to do now is sit back and let Rhino Linux do its thing. Just wait for the installation to complete. Calamares handles everything automatically from here. Installation is complete. Restart the machine and remove the USB drive if you're installing on a physical machine. Once you boot into Rhino Linux, you are greeted with a welcome screen that gives you quick shortcuts to important web resources. From here, you can easily access the Rhino Linux announcements page, official wiki, GitHub repository, Discord community, and Reddit forum to get help, updates, and documentation for your new system. There is also a helpful setup wizard that guides you through additional configuration options to customize your system. In the Package Manager window, you can enable support for different software formats like Flatpak, Snap, AppImage, and Nix. This gives you flexibility when installing applications from different ecosystems without needing extra manual setup later. Then we have the containerization section. This helps users who work with development tools or virtualization. Here you can quickly enable technologies such as Docker, Podman, Distrobox, Apptainer, and Camu for running containers and virtual machines directly on your system. Once the setup finishes, Rhino Linux will prompt you to reboot. Go ahead and restart. That completes the configuration setup. One reason I wouldn't call Rhino Linux fully beginner friendly is because installing applications works very differently compared to regular Ubuntu. On Ubuntu, most beginners are used to opening a graphical app store, searching for software, then clicking install. Simple. But Rhino Linux takes a much more terminal focused approach. Instead of relying on a traditional software center, Rhino Linux uses something called Rhino PKG, a custom package management system that combines multiple package managers into one unified tool. And remember those options we enabled earlier in the setup wizard? Flatpak, Snap, and AppImage? Rhino PKG brings all of them together under one command line interface. So rather than learning separate commands for apt Flatpak Snap, you will use one system to manage everything. Now, technically, that's actually very powerful. But for complete Linux beginners, opening a terminal just to install apps can feel intimidating at first. For example, instead of clicking an install button in a software store, you might type the following command to install VLC, Rhino-PKG, install VLC. Then Rhino Linux asks which package source you want to use. That's great for advanced users because it gives you flexibility and control. But for someone coming from Windows or standard Ubuntu, it can initially feel more complicated than expected. So Rhino Linux is kind of in an interesting middle ground. Beginner friendly in design, but power user oriented in how it handles software management. One thing I've noticed, if Flatpak is enabled and you trying to install the search is sluggish, you can completely remove or toggle Flatpak from the system to fix this bottleneck and speed up your search times, or you can speed up by searching individually. You can search your system's native backends directly, completely bypassing the combined query bottleneck. To find the software you want to install, you can search using this command, and once you find it, you can use Rhino PKG to install the software. The reason it was able to find Chrome is because of Pacstall. Pacstall is a package manager designed for Ubuntu and Debian-based Linux distributions that work somewhat like the AUR on Arch Linux. Normally on Ubuntu, you install software using official repositories through apt. The problem is that those packages can sometimes be outdated. Pacstall tries to solve that by allowing users to install newer or community-maintained applications much faster. Instead of downloading pre-compiled packages only, Pacstall uses special scripts called Pack scripts that automate downloading software, building packages, installing dependencies, and configuring applications. In simple terms, think of Pacstall as an easier way to get newer software on Ubuntu without switching to Arch Linux. In Rhino Linux, Pacstall plays a major role because many Rhino-specific applications and updates are distributed through it. For example, if an app isn't available in Ubuntu repositories or is outdated, Pacstall may provide a newer version. This gives Rhino Linux a more bleeding edge feel compared to normal Ubuntu, while still keeping Ubuntu underneath. The downside is that because Pacstall includes community-maintained packages, it may sometimes be less stable than strictly official Ubuntu repositories, similar to how the Arch user repository works. Sometimes when you use Pacstall, you'll hit an error like 404 not found, and this example explains perfectly why Pacstall is still a niche tool that needs a bit of technical patience. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Pacstall relies on Pack scripts, little install recipes written by the community. These scripts often point to a very specific download link, usually tied to a version number. The problem? Google routinely deletes older versions from its servers. So when a Pack script tries to download, say, an outdated Chrome deb file, the link simply doesn't exist anymore. Pacstall hits a wall, throws a 404, and you're left scratching your head. It's not that Pacstall is broken the file it's looking for, literally vanished from the internet. This is where Pacstall's inspiration, the AUR, has a huge advantage. The Arch user repository is enormous, over 80,000 packages, constantly updated by a massive community. If something breaks in the AUR, chances are someone fixes it within hours. Pacstall, on the other hand, is much smaller, only a few hundred to a couple thousand community packages. So when something goes outdated, it might take longer before someone updates that pack script. But here's the important part. Pacstall still works, and it works well for what it's meant to be. It gives Ubuntu users something they never really had: a community-driven AUR-like experience where you can install newer software quickly, grab niche apps, and access packages that aren't in the official Ubuntu repos. And when the pack scripts are maintained, Pacstall feels fast, modern, and incredibly handy. It's powerful, just not as battle-tested or crowded with contributors as Arch's AUR. Now here's some good news. Even though Rhino Linux doesn't come with a full graphical software center, you can still install the Synaptic Package Manager. Synaptic gives you a nice classic GUI for browsing and installing software, but there's one catch. Synaptic only works with apt packages. That means anything that lives in Ubuntu's official repositories or PPWAs will show up there. It's great for traditional Debian-style packages and for people who prefer clicking instead of typing, but for everything else, Pacstall, Flatpak, and Snap, you're still going to be using the command line. And honestly, that's just the nature of Rhino Linux. It's a hybrid system with multiple package sources, and not all of them have a full graphical interface yet. So Synaptic helps, but it doesn't replace the command line for the more modern or community-driven package systems. But once you get comfortable with Pacstall, Flatpak, and Snap commands, you'll notice they're actually quick and predictable, and they give you access to a much wider range of apps than apt alone. Updating Rhino Linux is actually really simple, thanks to its own custom tool. If you want to bring your entire system up to date, all you have to do is open a terminal and run this command. This command is Rhino Linux's unified package tool, kind of like a wrapper that manages updates across multiple sources. When you run this command, it doesn't just refresh apt or check one repository. Instead, it updates the package lists for apt so it knows the latest versions of traditional Ubuntu or Debian packages, refreshes Pacstall, pulling in any new or updated Paca scripts, checks Flatpak updates if Flatpak is installed, checks Snap updates if Snap is enabled, then shows you a summary of what can be upgraded. In other words, this single command updates all of Rhino Linux's package systems in one go. It's the distro's way of making its multi-package manager setup feel unified and easy. One of the biggest perks of Rhino Linux is the fact that it's a rolling release, and this really shows when it comes to system updates. While vanilla Ubuntu users are still waiting for official backports or the next point release to finally get a newer kernel, Rhino users don't have that problem at all. So a simple system update instantly pulls in the newest kernel available, along with the latest software packages. No waiting for major upgrades, no reinstalling every 6 months. Your system just stays fresh automatically. And even though you can update everything through the terminal with commands, you're not limited to the command line. Rhino Linux also provides a graphical update tool, so if you prefer clicking buttons instead of typing commands, you can keep your system updated just as easily. So should you use Rhino Linux? If you love Ubuntu, want newer software, enjoy trying innovative Linux distros, want a lightweight desktop, then Rhino Linux is definitely worth testing. But if you need absolute stability, enterprise reliability, long-term proven support, then regular Ubuntu or Linux Mint may still be the safer choice for now. Keep in mind, Rhino Linux is relatively new. It's surprisingly mature, but not as battle-tested as Ubuntu, Debian, or Fedora. Still, Rhino Linux is one of the most interesting Ubuntu-based projects I've seen recently. And honestly, the unified package management alone deserves attention. So that's Rhino Linux Ubuntu rolling release with a modern XFCE twist. Would you actually switch to it? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.